let's talk about something I know has been on your mind lately. You know that feeling when January comes around and you're thinking, this is it. This is the year I'm finally gonna make the changes I've been meaning to make. And then somehow February hits and those resolutions start feeling more like distant memories. Does that sound familiar to you? And trust me, I've been there too. But the fact that you're here watching this video tells me something really important about you. It tells me you haven't given up. Even if past resolutions didn't stick, you're still here. You're still showing up for yourself. You're still believing in the possibility of change. And that's huge. Maybe you already got your new planner, or you might have already spent hours working on your vision board. There's even a possibility that you have already written 75 hard somewhere. Whether you're dreaming about transforming your health, chasing that dream career, or opening your heart to new relationships, I want to help you make this time different. And I'm not talking about motivation. This is not a motivation hack. It will be different this time because you're finally gonna understand why your past resolutions didn't stick. And I know this isn't about motivation or lack of a system because I'm the queen of both. And yet, I have made plenty of resolutions that didn't stick in the past. For many, many years, I would create the perfect organization system so that I could make my resolutions happen. I would convince myself if I just had a better way of tracking everything or a better system, this time it would work. So I'd get a new planner, draw out my meal prep routine down to a T, and I would throw in some things like how many hours a day I needed to read, exercise, meditate, study, you name it. If I could fit it in my schedule, I had it on my resolution. And can you guess what happened year after year? By week 3, I was already disappointed in myself and completely discouraged because I was already falling back to my old habits. But here's what I didn't understand then that I understand now. My obsession with control wasn't really about organization at all. It had everything to do with my need to feel safe and how chaotic I felt on the inside. And I wonder if any of this sounds familiar to you. Maybe you've got your own version of this story. Different details, but the same feeling of why can I make it stick? So let's talk about what's really going on here. Because, and I really, really want you to hear this, it's not about discipline. It's about trying to build new habits and new patterns without first healing the wounds that created the old ones. In my case, for example, it was my need for control. And you know what changed? The moment I realized that I wasn't approaching my goals from a place of self-love. It was coming from a place of feeling like I was not enough. And that changed everything. I want you to think about your own resolutions for a moment. Are they coming from a place of self-love and care? Or are they coming from a place of you needing to fix something that's wrong about yourself? And the answer might actually surprise you. Maybe you discovered that your fitness goals wasn't about your health at all. Maybe it's about you wanting to feel worthy, or proving that you're disciplined enough, or finally earning your family's approval, or even trying to fit in with that friend group that you like. Or let's look at that career goal. The promotion you're chasing or this new business that you want to start. Is it really about growth and fulfillment and you're pursuing your passion? Or is it about proving your worth to someone? Maybe you just want to show your parents that their sacrifices were worth it. Or you finally want to measure up to that sibling. And what about those relationship resolutions? Maybe you decided that this year's the year you're finally going to meet the love of your life, or you're going to work on fixing your marriage. But when you dig deeper, you might realize that this isn't about love at all. It's about you trying to prove that you're not unlovable, or you don't want to be the last single friend, or you want to show your ex that you moved on. So when you have a chance, take a look at your resolutions again. And I want you to take a look at one by one and ask yourself the question, what do I believe this achievement will prove about my worth? And you see, this is where the magic happens. Once we understand these patterns and motives, we can start approaching our goals differently. Instead of creating goals that come from a place of lack and feelings of unworthiness, it can come from a place of growth and love. Let me show you what I mean by that. When I stopped thinking about I need to lose weight because I don't look good enough or because I'm just not attractive, and I started to think I want to nourish my body because it deserves to feel strong and healthy, the whole experience transformed. Suddenly, exercise started feeling joyful rather than punishment, and eating well became an act of self-love instead of just restriction. Now, I know I keep talking about self-love, and this might be completely unfamiliar territory for you, and I want to help you ease into it by showing you how I completely transformed the way that I approach goal setting in my life. When you sit down to write your goals and you're only looking forward, you will 100% be looking at it from a place of lack, right? I need to do this. I need to change that. I'm not good enough at this. Now, it's so easy to focus on where you want to go that you completely forgot how far you've already come. So a practice that I have is, before I start writing any goals, and this isn't just about New Year's resolution, and any time that I'm coming up with a new goal in my life, I first write down 10 things that I accomplished or ways that I have grown in the past 5 years. And they don't have to be huge. These can be things like you learned how to cook, or you started a new hobby you enjoy. You made new friends. You added something new to your morning routine that you like, or you changed something about your living situation. Perhaps you started a new job, or you quit a job, or maybe you started a new healthy relationship, or you ended a toxic one. It doesn't matter how big or small. Each item on your list represents a time when you successfully made a change in your life. And maybe some changes happened so gradually that you never paid attention to it. Maybe something happened because life forced your hand. But here's what matters. You did it. You adapted, you grew. And this is why I start this exercise before I do anything else. Because when you can see your own track record of change and growth, it changes everything. Because now instead of approaching your goals from a place of failure, you're approaching it from a place of I've done this before. I can change. I can do it again. So you're not starting from zero. You're starting from a pretty strong foundation of your previous successes, no matter how small they are. So here's what I really want you to take from our chat today. Sustainable change isn't about putting yourself in a perfect mold. It's about aligning your actions with who you really want to become, with your most authentic, loving self, all while healing the patterns that have held you back in the past. You're not broken. You don't need fixing. You don't need to prove your worth. I want you to look at your resolutions as you being on a journey to becoming your most authentic self this year. And if any of this resonated with you, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What is one resolution that you're going to look at differently after our conversation today? Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you in the next video.